Hi, I'm Daniel. I'm delighted to be joined today by Vicky, and we're going to talk about a number of acronyms that came up in the recent autumn budget. So Vicky, let's first start with EIS relief and VCT relief. I understand there have been some changes.
Yeah, so in the budget, there was announced some quite significant changes to EIS and VCT. So EIS stands for Enterprise Investment Scheme. So this is a tax-efficient scheme that investors use to put money into SMEs and smaller businesses, scaling businesses, the tax-efficient way that they can put money in and claim relief for their investment. So the EIS limits have changed. So previously, the annual investment limit for EIS was £5 million per year. So that's increasing to £12 million per year. The lifetime allowance is increasing from £12 million up to £24 million. And for knowledge-intensive companies, that's increasing from £20 million to £40 million lifetime allowance. So what this does, it incentivizes investors to put more money into growing businesses, into later stage businesses. And so hopefully that will drive investment and power some growth for bigger businesses and widen the investment net.
So this is one piece of really good news in the budget. Is there any downside to any of this? Are there any dark clouds in terms of EIS and VCT?
So yes, there has been one downside, you could call it. So VCT relief for investors has been cut. So at the moment, investors can claim 30% relief on their investments, and that's reducing to 20%.
But for individual investors who invest under the EIS scheme, they still
remain the same, exactly.
So that's really wonderful news. Great. And let's come on to EMI schemes, which, again, no doubt you'll explain what they are, but I understand there's been some changes there.
So there's some great improvements in the EMI scheme. So the total value of options that can be granted is doubling. So that's increasing from 3 million in total to 6 million in total. There have also been some threshold changes. So the gross assets test, which you need to pass in order to be eligible to use the scheme, has increased a lot. So gross assets, you have to have from 30 million up until 120 million as a result of the changes in the budget. And the other limit that has changed is that the number of employees that a business can employ has increased from 250 employees to 500 employees. So the result of these changes means that, again, similar to the EIS changes, that larger, later stage companies will be able to continue using these schemes for longer. So that's a real positive impact.
That's great. So again, makes it eligible for a lot more people. And also, I'm aware that there's another impact on EMIs, which is that PICES, which is a new government initiative, which allows shares in private companies to be traded off market. They've now made a change that says that EMI options that are excisable on a PICES trade, that PICES can be added as a condition to the existing options without tainting the tax benefits of the options. So that's more good news.
That's great news. And also another change for existing contracts is that although the changes in EMI schemes and also EIS schemes take place from April 2026, there is an extension of the time limit on EMI schemes from the time that is that you can hold the options from 10 years to 15 years. And that's also, you can apply that retrospectively. So that's good news for existing EMI contracts that businesses have in place. So that brings me on to another topic that I think you know a little bit about. So employee ownership trusts, what are the changes there?
Yeah. So employee ownership trusts are employee-owned businesses. The most famous example is John Lewis. And they've been very popular recently because at the moment, people who sell their companies to employee ownership don't pay any capital gains tax on the gain that they make when they make the sale. So it's become very popular in recent years. And there are lots of other tax benefits for the employees. They can all get a £3,600 bonus tax-free each year and so on. It's a very tax advantageous scheme. What's happened in the current budget is that they're now saying that half of the gain is taxable. So half of it is tax-free, half is taxable. And they're also saying that on that half that is taxable, business asset disposal relief, that's the old entrepreneurs relief, is not going to be available. So it does mean that there'll be a tax rate of 24% on half of the gain, so an effective tax rate of 12%.
And what impact do you think that will have on businesses? Is this the scheme that's used a lot at the moment, and will it have a significant impact?
It will, I think, because a lot of people have gone into selling to employee ownership because of the fact they're not paying any tax on their gain, and it's going to put some people off. They're going to think that by selling to trade, they'll get a higher price, which will more than compensate for the additional tax they're going to have to pay. It might not necessarily be a bad thing. I think there are certainly some companies have sold to EOTs that are not really ripe for employee ownership.
That's great, really interesting. Thanks, Dan. If you would like to know more about any of the things we've discussed, please get in touch.